Alright, so what's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the In the Hot Seat podcast. And in this week's episode, I will be talking about that's why AEW's Forbidden Door, dealing with not only AEW but New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I was basically going at it as dealing with an open mind on this one since I haven't been watching far too much as New Japan over the years as I should have, and been wanting to actually get back into it. And I know a few big names at New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I was just, going at it and just enjoying it for what it is. And I was still excited anyway, even if you aren't into New Japan or haven't really checked it out before. I still recommend it. It's still a fun pay-per-view to actually go ahead and watch from the buy-in all the way into the main card. And I am looking to actually make an effort into watching more of New Japan. I recently got into Stardom again. Being able to watch that has been exciting. So being able to not really know far too much what was going on, but familiar certain things that has been able to fill me in. So on the buy-in, we had a lot alone. We had the Factory and tag team action dealing with Yoshi, Hashi, and their team. The Factory able to get their win. That was with Aaron Solo and his QT and Marshall on this one. Then we had the two monsters, of course, Lance Archer and as well Nick Camarado dealing with things together. That was definitely interesting. Lance Archer able to get his win, so that definitely makes sense there. We had Swerve Out Glory, Keith Lee, and as well Serge Strickland dealing with their thing with the tag team, dealing with tag team action this time with, of course, Suzuki Gun and El Desperado on this one. Of course, Keith Lee and as well as Strickland able to get their win. That made me happy, to say the least. And then we had the Gun Club dealing with the Acclaim, the tag team action, and dealing with the LA Dojo on that. And the Acclaim as well. The Gun Club able to get their win for that. The main card, a lot basically going down with even more crazy stuff in terms of in-ring action, where we had Eddie Kingston and Shota Umano on this one, I believe, and Mila Yuta, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki on this one. Couldn't went really either or when it came to basically those teams and everything. It was really exciting and everything, and being able to actually have, I believe, Eddie Kingston and his team, I believe, getting the win from almost getting the win actually, and actually having Chris Jericho dealing with the win that I remember and coming back, and it came close to either one of them, but getting the upper hand basically for the Jericho Appreciation Society. So they were able to deal with I guess basically needed win, especially for Blood and Guts basically, and getting that advantage there. So that was basically also added to see who would be able to get the upper hand basically for that for Wednesday for Dynamite. And definitely when we had the winner take all, really cool back and forth tag team match where we had not only the ROH tag team titles dealing with on the line, but also the IWGP tag team titles also on the line, of course, with FTR, the United Empire, and as well with Pongy Vice. It was really hard to see who I really wanted to win. At times too, we did see, dealing with FTR and almost dealing with an injury, but dealing not only with that, but I believe Dax was able to actually come back, I believe, at the time, and be able to finish the match and actually be double champions. So they're champs, which is really awesome to see that. That's really dope. I really like that. So the FTR basically on a roll, and I love that. So we'll see who they'll be dealing with next, especially being champs in the tag team division. So we'll see what's up next. Then we get into the AEW All Atlantic Championship, brand new championship title, and being able to have the tournament to see who will be able to move on. And where we had, of course, Pac on this one, we had Miro, Malachi Black, and as well Clark Connors, who actually really surprised me. I wouldn't have been mad against or any one of these guys actually winning, especially Clark Connors. I haven't really seen him before, but seeing him in this match, I feel like he should be all elite right now, if I'm honest. And we had Pac actually gaining the All Atlantic Championship So there's already some potential feuds, especially for Pac for the All Atlantic Championship. So I'm really happy to see that, and I'm curious to see what matches and everything that we will get to see next time. Now that we have this new kind of like other mid card championship for them for AEW. And then we get into the Bullet Club, basically dealing with things with the dudes with attitudes, basically, which I'll be on Sting, Shingo Tagagi, I think. If I'm standing corrected on that, I could be wrong, still trying to get names and everything. So this was definitely one of my favorite matches, definitely for sure. Especially how Sting was able to deal like being in the rafters and actually dealing with the guy on top of the stage. That was dope and crazy as all hell on that one. Being able to see that, and I think being able to see the dudes with attitude, I believe, getting the win there, if I'm not mistaken. So being able to deal with that, and dealing with the next thing where we had the AEW Women's World Championship match, Thunder Rosa and as well Tony Storm on this one. And I feel like we should have had another women's match, especially AEW and New Japan women's match. That would have been really awesome. But this one, Tony Storm definitely wasn't giving up for anything in this match. And Thunder Rosa having the respect for Tony Storm. Both women actually having respect for one another between Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm, respectively. So it made it for a really exciting match. I really would have been against Tony Storm winning. I really actually wanted to see her win so badly, but Thunder Rosa did find the way, and she was able to retain and keep the AEW Women's World Title on that one. So that was definitely really cool to be able to see that on that note. And then we get into the United States title, basically for IWGP United States title match. Will Ospreay and as well Orange Cassidy, and these two are really pulling out all the stops on this one. Definitely don't put your hands in Orange Cassidy's pockets. That's basically disrespect there and everything. I really wanted Orange Cassidy to get the IWGP United States title, but Will Ospreay able to win, keep his title. I guess it makes sense, but I really wanted Orange Cassidy to actually get the one because it's kind of like basically rare at this point to actually see Orange Cassidy, especially in singles action. So that was a really nice treat. So I hope we see more Orange Cassidy, and he definitely deserves the title, I think, too, at this point. Then we get into the mystery opponent for Zack Sabre Jr., which I really enjoyed. I hope he's also all elite as well. And as well, the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. And who would it be? That's right, Claudio Castagnoli, basically, aka Cesaro, on this, and Claudio showing up and having it be a really cool back and forth match. I thought it was going to be quick, but Zack Sabre Jr. wasn't having that, and gave a really cool match with Claudio on that, and Claudio getting the win there and being able to deal with blood and guts as well. So that should be really awesome. I'm curious to see what else I will see out of Claudio in AEW. Nothing but great things, definitely, for sure. Out of that, then we got into the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match, where we had Jay White, Adam Cole, Adam Page, and as well the Rainmaker with Okada and everything. So being able to see Okada in AEW, I'm sure there would be a lot more, especially at this Fatal 4-Way. At times, Jay White and Adam Cole basically teaming up and everything. You saw the history between everyone, which is really awesome. And that it wouldn't have mattered who won on this one, but dealing with Jay White actually somehow, some way, being able to keep his IWGP World Heavyweight title is really cool. So that was really fun on that. And then, of course, the AEW Interim World Championship match between, of course, Jon Moxley, of course, dealing with William Regal with support, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. If I got that name correctly, hopefully. Again, still trying to get used to names, but this one was a really cool banger. Basically, banger after banger. Each match on the card from top to bottom on this one, and actually having Jon Moxley, the wild thing that he is, he was able to actually keep up with the momentum and actually get the interim world championship. So that's really cool, and we'll see what happens with that. And maybe most likely deal with CM Punk whenever he does come back, and hopefully has a speedy recovery with everything that he's been dealing with. So until then, that about does it for this week's episode for the In the Hot Seat podcast. Until then, leave your thoughts down below if you're watching on the YouTube version. Subscribe and as well hit the notification bell on that as well to stay up to date for the In the Hot Seat podcast. Definitely check us out on Anchor and Spotify as always. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next podcast. And I'll see you next time. See ya and as well, peace.